In July 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo took centre stage at the iconic Santiago Bernabeu. The entire stadium, pulsating with the energy of 80,000 eager fans, witnessed a spectacle that would mark a pivotal moment in Real Madrid's history, the second coming of the Galacticos. The unveiling of Ronaldo was nothing short of a celebration, a transition point that set the stage for a new era after his then world record move from Manchester United for £80 million. Madrid fans were salivating at the prospect of the current Ballon d'Or winner helping them in their quest to regaining their crown as the most dominant team not just in Spain, but the entire world. And he didn't do too badly, did he? Because of Ronaldo's impact at the club, what many people forget is that just 2 weeks prior to his unveiling, Madrid showcased another one of their new talents in the exact same stadium. This talent was actually the man who had won the Ballon d'Or the year before Ronaldo, the Brazilian genius Kaká. In 2009, Kaká was the best midfielder in the world, a man who would maraud past world-class defenders as if they were not there. On his day, he was untouchable. Yet today, the image of Kaká in a Real Madrid shirt is one that many people have to do a double take on because they genuinely forgot that he ever played for the club. But this isn't just about Ronaldo and Kaká. It's about a broader narrative, one that extends beyond the glitz and glamour of high-profile signings. Real Madrid, a club synonymous with success, has been a battleground for some of the greatest players in history, testing not just their skills, but their mental fortitude. And Kaká is not alone. Throughout the years, there have been many world-class players who just couldn't cut it at the most demanding club in world football. What is it that separates them from Ronaldo? Why was he able to thrive in the at times dangerously hostile environment of the Bernabeu? And why have so many others barely gotten out alive? The answer lies in a simple psychological concept, one that 99% of athletes will never learn or understand, and because of this, their careers will crumble into obscurity, just like the many superstars humbled by the white shirt of Real Madrid. So if you want to become part of the 1%, the likes of Ronaldo who understands this concept deeply and uses it to his advantage, then you must watch the rest of this video. So buckle up and let's get started. So what is this simple concept? Well, to put things into context, I want you to imagine you're at a theme park, queuing up for the biggest roller coaster that they have to offer. It has 15 loops, travels at 120 miles an hour, and reaches a top height of 250 feet off the ground. You edge closer to the front of the queue and you hear distant screams of terror above. Most people in that situation would say they feel one of two things: nervous or excited. But the interesting thing is that irrespective of that response, within each person's body, the exact same physiological changes are occurring. As you get to the front of the queue and you're strapped in, your heart rate increases, the sensation of butterflies in your stomach surfaces, and you feel your legs slightly twitching. And what then happens is that those who said they were nervous before getting on the roller coaster tend to hate the experience. They close their eyes, they scream in terror, and they may even pass out. But those who said they're excited, well, they keep their eyes open, they spread their arms out, and they laugh in between their screams of enjoyment. But again, if you look inside the bodies of those who are excited and those who are nervous, it's pretty much the exact same setup of changes in physiology. So what's the point here? Well, in labeling this roller coaster experience as either something to be nervous or excited about, what you are doing is deciding how your body will use these physical changes to deal with this experience. You are making what psychologists call stress appraisals, which is the process by which individuals evaluate and cope with stressful events and pressurized moments. And depending on what kind of appraisals you make, this dramatically changes your ability to be able to cope and successfully deal with stressful situations. Someone like Cristiano Ronaldo has become a master in how he thinks about stressors, and this is why he is known as a clutch performer. Someone who seems to thrive during the most stressful moments and be able to deal with the endless pressure from millions of people watching him perform. This is what makes him demand the ball to take any free kick or penalty in the last minute of the game, and also be the first person to volunteer taking a penalty in a penalty shootout. Ronaldo deliberately leans into the most pressurized moments. Does he feel the same physical changes in his body, like the thump of your pulse on the side of your head, a dry mouth, and those butterflies in your stomach? Yes, of course. But he doesn't see these things as warnings and a sign to panic, that you need to run away. No. He sees these like an alarm in the same way that firefighters do when they're in the fire station, that it's time to go and jump headfirst into the fire. But as said, most athletes instead fall into the default in how they think about stress. They see stressful moments as times where they will get found out or screw up whilst everyone is watching. Those physical changes are an alarm that then leads you to evacuating the building and running away in fear. So the difference is that Ronaldo makes what are called challenge appraisals, whereas most athletes instead make threat appraisals. The elite performers like Ronaldo understand that pressure isn't a threat. It's an opportunity to excel. Whether you're on the pitch or facing life's challenges, adopting a challenge appraisal mindset can be the key to dominating your performance domain. This mindset enhances performance by channeling stress into positive energy, triggering a fight response when you go into that fight or flight state. And this ends up boosting focus and adrenaline. On the other hand, Threat appraisals cause athletes to perceive pressure as a danger, leading to anxiety, impaired concentration, and decreased overall performance. Over the long term, adopting a challenge appraisal mindset builds resilience and fosters a positive relationship with pressure, while threat appraisals contribute to chronic stress and avoidance of challenges. So how can you be like Ronaldo and start making challenge appraisals more of a habit and yield their benefits so that you can dominate your domain of expertise? Well, there's three main things you should do. The first tip to make challenge appraisals a habit is simple yet profound. Watch your language. The words we use shape our perceptions, especially in the heat of stressful moments. As an athlete, pay attention to the narratives that you create when under pressure. Instead of framing situations as threats, you must consciously choose language that transforms them into challenges. So here are some examples to give you an idea of how to shift your internal dialogue that you have with yourself when facing these pressurized moments. A typical threat appraisal is something like, I have to perform perfectly, otherwise I'll fail. Whereas this can be shifted into more of a challenge appraisal by saying, this is an opportunity to showcase my skills and learn from the experience. Another key area that is important is reframing mistakes, because it may be that you screwed up during a stressful moment, and this causes a bit of doubt to seep in that you'll never become a clutch performer. And in those moments, you tend to find most athletes say things like, because of this mistake, my career is going to tank. But you can easily reframe something like that to, this mistake is part of my journey. I know I can improve to handle moments like this better in future. And there are even very sneaky uses of language that we think may not reveal too much about our views on pressure and stress, but they really do, and in turn cause us not to embrace challenges and make the improvements that we're actually looking for. So simple things like, I have to do this training session, do actually show signs of seeing training as too difficult, as a threat that you might feel that you're not as fit or skilled to carry it out at a high level. Simply changing this to, I get to do this training session, just switches the mental approach to that training in a way that allows you to embrace it more, tackle it with full energy, and build the confidence that you can execute. By consciously shifting your language from a threat-oriented perspective to one of challenge, you rewire your brain to see the difficulties that you inevitably face on your athletic journey as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It's not about denying the existence of stress, it's about reframing it as a catalyst for growth and success. So in these crucial moments, choose your words wisely, as they have the power to shape your performance mindset, and this ultimately dictates your level of success on the pitch, court, or track. Another thing that helps with the mental shift of embracing pressure as a challenge is Podia, who I'm delighted to say is today's video sponsor. Running an online business is the most pressurized thing I've ever done in my life. And for a long time, a lot of that pressure felt truly threatening. Things like keeping up a steady run of clients, being able to market myself effectively, and just build a sense of trust with my audience. But since using Podia, I've actually relished the challenge of running my business. Through one simple login, I've been able to build a new website, host my online course, and also let people book in for one-to-one coaching with me. Everything in my business used to be super fragmented and all over the place, and this would stress me out, leaving me feeling like I didn't actually have what it takes to run a business. But Podia has been the perfect platform to just bring everything together. And I'm sure it can do the same for you if you're looking to start your own business or inject a new lease of life into an existing one. You can try out Podia for free today and build your own website and start offering your expertise through coaching and digital products. So check it out with my link in the description below. So thanks to Podia for making this video happen, and let's get back to it. The second tip of reappraising stresses as an athlete is a game changer, and something so simple but so effective: self-coaching. Too often, athletes are their own harshest critics, drowning in self-doubt during those crucial high-pressure moments. It's almost the default for humans to say to themselves that they can't do something or that they're not ready for an important moment. But here's the twist. Even though you may fall into the trap of telling yourself this, think about how you encourage and support your friends or teammates when they face similar high-pressure moments. You may end up telling yourself that you're going to miss the final penalty in the penalty shootout, but you 100% do everything that you can to convince your teammate that he or she will score if they're in that exact same situation taking that final penalty. You hype them up and give them words of encouragement to believe that they can seize that moment. So we can use this difference to the level of encouragement that we give to others compared to ourselves to our advantage. And this can be done by applying the same positive perspective to yourself by taking on the role of your own coach. Self-coaching breaks the cycle of self-criticism, self-doubt, and a general lack of self-belief. The key is to detach from your immediate emotional response and just approach yourself as a coach would. What would you say to a teammate facing the same challenge? Use that same encouragement for yourself. So whenever you feel threatened by a tough moment, you want to have a go-to set of questions that you can rely on to help you reframe the experience as quickly and effectively as possible so that you can just succeed and execute. The simplest is actually asking, what would coach say to me? And the key here is to think about the best, most encouraging and supportive coach that you've had in your life. Because chances are they are highly experienced and you actually trust their judgment. They're not trying to bullshit you. So if they would say that you're ready to face a particularly stressful and high-pressured moment, then you're going to believe it if you imagine them telling you this. Other questions can be, how are these feelings going to help me? When we start to feel all those physical changes in our body of getting into that fight or flight state, think about how the jitters you have are actually a sign of having energy to play hard and with intensity. Or think about how your increased heart rate just means that more blood is being pumped to your brain so you can make quicker in-game decisions. And the last one to think about is, why is this a challenge to embrace? Because this really narrows your focus on the idea that the big moment ahead of you is actually just a challenge and something that you can overcome and thrive in if you choose to embrace it. Think about the benefit you will get from tackling it head on, whether this is performing certain skills or techniques as perfect as possible, or whether the moment in front of you is just an opportunity to grow your overall sense of experience and maturity in your sport. You often get this among underdogs in sport. They go in knowing that the odds are stacked against them, but they don't care. If you've seen videos of lower league or non-league teams getting drawn against the best teams in the Premier League for the FA Cup, then you'll see that they go absolutely crazy. Deep down, they know the odds are quite high that they'll get spanked 5-0, but they want to embrace the challenge of playing against the very best. That's one of the purest examples of making a challenge appraisal instead of a threat one. So to make this shift in attitude more consistent, just be your own ally, your own coach. Offer yourself the same encouragement, the same support, and the same constructive feedback that you would readily provide to others. It's a powerful tool in building resilience and nurturing a positive mindset that is open to challenge, irrespective of the outcome. And so the final tip in creating a permanent shift from threat to challenge is reflection and roleplay. I bang on about this all the time, but self-reflection is such a powerful but underrated tool. When you're facing stressful or high-pressure moments, it's always important to take time to revisit instances where you face challenges head-on, you triumphed over adversity, and emerged stronger. In his first season at Real Madrid, Ronaldo was still met with skepticism by the Spanish press and some of the Real Madrid fans. He had a few different injuries that stopped him from reaching his absolute best, despite him scoring plenty of goals. But this quote from Ronaldo best embodies his ability to use reflection to deal with the newfound pressure that came with his move to the most intense club in the world. I played 6 years for Manchester United, and you have to be calm all the time. You have to do what you do to work and train hard. I don't care about the pressure. I've always played with pressure, and for me, it is another challenge. That quote couldn't be put more perfectly. Ronaldo drew on his previous experience at one of the biggest clubs in England to help him navigate an even more pressurized and sometimes quite toxic environment at Madrid. But I get it, sometimes you have to face a situation that's entirely new, one that you don't really have any prior experience of. And this is where roleplay comes in through visualization. For a full guide on this technique, you should watch the video at the top, but simply put, visualizing just comes down to closing your eyes, immersing yourself into the scenario, and mentally rehearsing how you would tackle the challenge. Picture yourself navigating every twist and turn with confidence and skill. Work through how you'll respond to the intensity of the moment. Play by play, work out exactly how you'll perform in those tough moments. By engaging in this mental role play, you not only prepare for the unknown, but also condition your mind to perceive challenges as conquerable. You're almost tricking your brain into thinking you've been there and done it before, so that when that pressurized moment arises, you can follow a mental script that you've already run through time and time again. By incorporating reflection and roleplay into your mental toolkit, you not only strengthen your resilience, but also instill the habit of adopting the challenge appraisal mindset. Challenges become familiar ground and opportunities to showcase your skills rather than be threats to your confidence. Pressure at the end of the day is all in your head, and you can very simply change your relationship with pressure and become a top 1% athlete just by being a bit more intentional with how you think about pressure. One thing that can get in the way of this, however, is overthinking. So to avoid this damaging your ability to handle pressure, then you need to watch this next video here.